I've got a song I got to start you off with. 1 second. Oh, wait, gotta turn the volume up so you can hear it. Steven is a prophet. Steven Crypto Karaoke is a prophet. Here's the rest of this piece. Cover it all up now. Redact. Don't view it. Or was it don't let the people look through it? Donald Trump should be blasting that at every single rally he goes to, right when he's about to walk out. Pfizer, cover it all up, yeah. Comey, stroke, page. Oh, I'm telling you, Steven, those words from that song are prophetic. Zero Hedge, DiGenova, Comey and Brennan were the coup leaders against our president. Former U.S. Attorney Joe DiGenova told OANN's John Hines that former FBI Director James Comey and former CIA Director John Brennan were coup leaders in an attempt to reverse the outcome of the 2016 U.S. election. I had to catch the guy I work with that's a super liberal by surprise because he won't even respond usually when I send him stuff. I should title it, subject, in an email. Hey, man, you were right. There was election meddling in 2016. And then he opens the email, starts to read, by James Comey and John Brennan. DiGenova says the Obama Justice Department was corrupted under Attorney General Eric Holder and Loretta Lynch with the authority and knowledge of then President Obama. And then a stupid and arrogant Susan Rice was dumb enough to document his knowledge in a January 20th, 2017 email. Quote, and you'll never forget, I'm sure, that famous Susan Rice email inauguration day of Donald Trump where she sends an email to the file memorializing that there had been a meeting on January 5th with the President of the United States, all senior law enforcement and intelligence officials, where they reviewed the status of Crossfire Hurricane. Again, that was the spying operation. And the President announced, President Obama, that he was sure that everything had been done by the book. I want to thank Susan Rice for being so stupid and so arrogant to write that email on January 20th, because that's Exhibit A for Barack Obama, who knew all about this from the start to finish and was more than happy to have the civil rights of a massive number of Americans violated so he could get to Donald Trump and spy on Trump, basically. Moreover, DiGenova says that after all this stuff involving Trump and Page and Papadopoulos and Michael Flynn, again, General Flynn, anyone who couldn't see that the corrupt investigative process of the FBI and DOJ was basically being used to conduct a coup d'etat is an idiot. Quote, this was not hard. If you're a good prosecutor, you look at the facts in the Trump case and the Page case, the Flynn case. There's only one conclusion you can come to. None of this makes any sense. None of these people were evil. None of them. They were framed, and the whole process was playing out, and you knew it on July 5th, 2016, when James Comey announced usurping the functions of the Attorney General. Oh, your head just flipped on me for a stupid ad. Now I got to go back to where I was. Functions of the Attorney General that no reasonable prosecutor would bring a case against Hillary Clinton. Of course they would. Remember that? No, we put intent. We have to show and prove intent that Hillary intended to. No, actually you don't. No, you don't. They just have to break the law. That's all. That was ludicrous. She destroyed 30,000 emails that were under subpoena. If you or I did that, we'd be in prison today. She got a break because she was Hillary Clinton. And James Comey was trying to kiss her fanny because he wanted something from her when she became president of the United States. All of these people who watched that news conference and didn't think that it was a disgrace for the FBI, and then subsequently watched all this stuff involving Trump and Page and Papadopoulos and Michael Flynn, and couldn't see that the corrupt investigative process of the FBI and the DOJ was basically being used to conduct a coup d'etat. I mean, you have to be an idiot. Any first-year assistant U.S. attorney would look at all these facts and say, there's a coup underway. There's a conspiracy. But for those of us that thought the Washington Post, the New York Times, we were conspiracy theorists. You know what? Pretty damn good theory, it appears today. Not so much a conspiracy theorist, huh? Or a conspiracy theory. To what extent is the CIA involved in this? Asked Hines. Well, there's no doubt that John Brennan was the primogenitor of the entire counterintelligence investigation, replied DiGenova. It was John Brennan who went to James Comey and basically pummeled him into starting a counterintelligence investigation against Trump. Brennan's at the heart of this. He went around the world. He enlisted the help of foreign intelligence services. He's responsible for Joseph Misfud and other people. People do not have even the beginning of an understanding of the role that John Brennan played in this. He is a monstrously important person, and I underscore monstrously important person. He has done more damage to the Central Intelligence Agency. It's equal to what James Comey had done to the FBI. It's pretty clear that James Comey will go down in history as the single worst FBI director in history, regardless of how Mr. Durham treats him. He precipitated it, he caused it, he encouraged it, and he is responsible for it at minimum. He and John Brennan are the coup leaders. And they put a video down here to OAN News. It's a YouTube video. If you want to watch it again, you can click on the link in the description box, which will take you to Zero Hedge for credit to the article, which will then take you to the video if you want to see it. So we've got those two guys, which you and I already knew. We already knew that's what was going on. Italy fired all 5 or 6 top, all the different intelligence agencies in Italy fired the top guys. You're out of here. Shortly after that, Attorney A.G. Barr, a couple other people go. Oh, we're going to Italy. We need to have a little face-to-face discussion with the new prime minister. Seems like he's a good guy. Wants to work with us in the U.S. And to prove it, he fired all those guys lickety-split like that. Those were the guys. I'm telling you this. Those were the guys that were fired who worked with John Brennan and said, okay, we'll do this. We will spy for you. Because remember, we had the Five Eyes intelligence apparatus. Well, we share. And here's the thing that you're going to find out. If you didn't already know this. When the media tells it, they word it very carefully. Share intelligence. When I hear the United States is sharing intelligence with Italy, or Italy's is sharing intelligence with us, that means, or let me tell you what it doesn't mean. It doesn't mean the United States has full access to a database of epic proportions of everybody in Italy, all the citizens, all the government, everybody, and we can just tap into that database whenever we feel like it, track people, spy on people, listen on people. You know, when I hear those words, that's not what that means to me. That means, hey, you call us, you send an official letter to us. Hey, we've got a guy, he's an Italian citizen, you know, if I'm in Italy and I'm calling the United States for help. This guy's now in your country. We've got 2 our equivalent of FISA warrants on him over here. Now that he's in your country, can you kind of help us with it? Oh, okay. Not, hey, we'll just tap into the United States database, free for all. You guys, you gave us a login and password, so to speak. We'll just use that. Don't worry about it. We don't worry about your courts. We don't worry about getting a FISA warrant from you guys. No, we'll just do it ourselves. That's what they did. So if all those guys got fired, like Trump fired all the top guys of our intelligence agencies, what about that Gina Haspel, whatever her name is? She was CIA since God knows how long, 1981, man. She was part of this, man. Why did he put her on top of the CIA because she, as Q said, was in the European zone between like 2014 and 17 or 16 or something, right in the middle of when this little coup d'etat was happening. And we need intelligence officers in our other countries to basically break laws for us because we can't really do it. So spy for us. She would have been one to know. Q said this. Why do you think she was chosen? Because I had a problem with that at first. Man, anybody that's in the CIA, I got a problem with. I've never heard anything good from the CIA ever. Why is he putting this lady who's already been in the swamp in charge of it now, of the CIA swamp? Oh, that's why. Oh, so she's not a bad guy, exactly. I mean, again, do you think every single FBI employee is a bad person? It's always the top down. You want to bust somebody and you're told by your upper echelon, no, drop the case. Drop the case. We've got major dirt on Jeffrey Epstein, 2008 or whatever the first year was. Major, as the guy said, the attorney down here, attorney general or a district attorney, I was told to back off. This is above your pay grade. Leave it alone. Let him escape with this nonsense charge, and that's it. He said, I was told to do that. So if you get rid of the upper management, the employees can finally work and be patriots. So my question again, do you think every single CIA officer or person's a bad person? No. Are there definitely some bad apples? Absolutely. And they just so happen to be the ones in charge of the agencies. And that is why Trump has been picking them off one by one by one by one. Take care.